The state of Florida has about 25,949 miles of rivers, yet just 49.2 miles of rivers are designated as wild and scenic, about 0.2% of the state's total. Which rivers are the 15 largest rivers in Florida? What are these rivers like? What types of wildlife live in these unique bodies of water? Let's take a look at the 15 largest rivers in Florida. Number 15 is Aucilla River, is 89 miles long, beginning in Brooks County, Georgia. It flows through the Big Bend region of Florida until it empties into the Gulf of Mexico. The Aucilla River is both wild and picturesque, with large tree canopies covering banks of limestone. There are several underground drainage systems, sinkholes, and caves beneath the Aucilla River. Because of this, the river often disappears underground in places, flowing beneath the ground before returning to the surface again. 14th is Chipola River, is 92.5 miles long, flowing through northwest Florida. It is fed by 63 freshwater springs. The Chipola River flows through the Dead Lakes State Recreation Area. Flooding once killed thousands of trees in the floodplain areas of the Chipola River. Today, dead stumps of the destroyed cypress trees stand guard, giving it an otherworldly appearance as the clear water of the Chipola River flows past. Number 13 is Pea River, is 106 miles long. It begins northeast of Bartow, Florida, and flows south to Punta Gorda at Charlotte Harbor on the Gulf of Mexico. As its name suggests, the Pea River has a gentle flow which makes paddling and canoeing easy. This river is an excellent place for fossil hunting. The slow, gentle flow of the river helps to keep the fossils well preserved. Fossils from the Pleistocene and Miocene eras, as well as more recent times, are common in the area, like shark teeth, mammoths, bison, alligators, and mastodons. The Indian River is not a traditional river by definition. However, it is certainly an important waterway in the state of Florida. The Indian River is a 121-mile brackish lagoon where saltwater from the ocean and freshwater streams mix together. It is one of the most biologically diverse estuaries in North America. The Indian River is filled with mangrove wetlands and salt marshes. It provides the perfect habitat for a variety of wildlife. The lagoon is home to 2,200 different animal species, including 685 species of fish and 270 species of birds. Loggerhead sea turtles, green sea turtles, and leatherback sea turtles live along the banks of the Indian River. Manatees swim within its clear waters. St. Mary's River is 126 miles long and forms the easternmost border between Georgia and Florida. It begins in the Ochlockonee Swamp and ends in the Atlantic Ocean. St. Mary's River is a remote blackwater stream with an extensive marsh system. The St. Mary's River Basin is home to an abundance of wildlife. There are many animals here, like alligators, deer, beavers, otters, turkey and ribbon snakes, and gopher tortoises. Around the middle section of the river there are also bobcats, red-cockaded woodpeckers, panthers, and bears. The Kissimmee River is 134 miles long and forms part of the Everglades wetlands area in Florida. The river originates in East Lake Tohopekaliga in south-central Florida, then flows south through Lake Kissimmee and into Lake Okeechobee. The river was channelized due to flooding, but this made pollution worse and diminished the wetland habitat. In the 1990s, restoration efforts began and are continuing today. The restoration of the Kissimmee River is the largest true ecosystem restoration project in the world. It has proven very successful. Many of the once lost wildlife have now returned to the river. Number 9 is Withlacoochee River, starts in the Green Swamp east of Polk City in Florida. It then flows for 141 miles, twisting and turning until it empties into the Gulf of Mexico near Yankeetown, Florida. There is an abundance of wildlife surrounding the Withlacoochee River, including alligators, kingfishers, ospreys, eagles, hawks, and turtles. Alongside the river is the 46-mile Withlacoochee State Trail, the longest paved state trail in the state of Florida. The Choctawhatchee River is 141 miles long, starting in southeastern Alabama. It flows through the panhandle of Florida until it empties into Choctawhatchee Bay. There is less industrial activity in this area. As a result, the Choctawhatchee River is much cleaner than many other rivers in Florida. Number 7 is Pea River gets its name due to the pea-green color of its water. The Muskogee name for the Pea River is Talakatchee, meaning pea-green stream. The Pea River begins near the town of Midway in Bullitt County, Alabama. After flowing south, it dips into Florida for a bit, then joins the Choctawhatchee River back in Alabama. The Alapaha River is 202 miles long, flowing from southern Georgia into northern Florida. Along its journey, portions of the Alapaha River disappear. This is because the Alapaha River is an intermittent river. This means that when the water flow is low, sections of the river disappear underground and become a subterranean river. At times there can be up to 11 miles of the dry bank above ground while the water of the Alapaha River continues to flow below ground. The Ochlockonee River is a fast-running river that starts in Georgia. It flows for 206 miles until it ends in Florida. The river is unique because it is influenced by tides. It is also a mix of freshwater, brackish water, and saltwater. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission designated the Ochlockonee River as a strategic habitat conservation area. This means there are many rare and threatened species in the river, including the Apalachicola dusky salamander, least tern, and red-cockaded woodpecker. There are many rare freshwater mussels in the Ochlockonee River. 3 of these freshwater mussels are endangered: the oval pigtoe, the shinny-rayed pocketbook, and Ochlockonee moccasin shell. Number 4 is Suwannee River is 246 miles long, beginning in southern Georgia and flowing into Florida. It is a wild blackwater river. Visitors come here to watch wildlife, canoe, fish, hunt, and even see the remnants of a historical 19th-century steamship. The Escambia River can be a bit confusing. This Florida river goes by 2 different names. In Alabama, it is known as the Conecuh River, but in Florida, it is called the Escambia River. The entire Escambia River is 258 miles long, beginning near Union Springs, Alabama. It then flows southwest into Florida and then into Escambia Bay. The Escambia River is home to 85 native freshwater species of fish. There are more different kinds of freshwater fish in the Escambia River than in any other Florida river. The St. Johns River is number 2, is the largest river in Florida that stays within the borders of Florida. St. Johns River is also the most important river in Florida for commercial and recreational use. It begins in Florida's Brevard County and flows for 310 miles. Eventually, it meets up with the Atlantic Ocean in Duval County. St. Johns River is a blackwater stream and is often described as a lazy river because of its very low flow rate. And the first place is occupied by the river, which has 2 different names. This is because sections of the river were each given a different name by different colonial settlers. The portion of river in the state of Georgia is called the Chattahoochee River. The portion in Florida is called the Apalachicola River. The Apalachicola River is the largest river in Florida and begins in the southern Blue Ridge Mountains. It flows through Georgia and merges with the Flint River in Florida. Once the river reaches the city of Chattahoochee, its name changes to the Apalachicola River. The river continues its course through Florida until it reaches the city of Apalachicola and flows into Apalachicola Bay. The Apalachicola is home to the endangered Florida torreya, also known as stinking cedar or gopher wood. The Florida torreya is a tree that grows only in this region. Thanks for watching.